comes, and whoever don't. First, thank everyone for coming out. Actually, this is not a teaching class. It's a learning class, and it's an interaction class. It's 42 objections here because you need to practice. You need to hone your skills. And that's the only way you're going to learn. I mean, you can read these. However, if you don't practice them, and if you don't study them, you're not going to learn. So we're going to do some interaction. I don't expect you guys to nail it. Do the best you can as if you own the script. And once you own the script, you can customize it and you can change it because it may not sound like you. You know? So basically, that's what the class is about. Is everybody going to participate? Or is it just going to be me? Oh, we got a newbie here. She says yes. All right.
Oh, no.
All right, great. And basically, these objections are common objections that you're going to hear from a seller. So, let's start with number one.
I have a question,
Go ahead.
please. Are these phone conversations?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
These are phone conversations. And based, well, I'm glad you mentioned that.
Thank you.
7% is the words that you use, 38% is your tonality, and 55% is your body language. So most of the interaction is going to be over the phone, so it's very important about your tonality, how you own the scripts. A good tip is when you're talking to a buyer or seller and trying to set an appointment, stand up. Get that energy. You walk around, you're moving your hands, you know, you feeling like you own it versus sitting down sounding muffled. Because you can have someone, you can have two agents. And one agent could be new, don't know the script, but is very enthusiastic. And then you can have another one that knows the script and he's very monotone. Who do you think the seller's going to hire?
First one.
Absolutely, someone who's like, I know I can sell your house. You know, trust me, give me an opportunity. They're going to get the listing every time. So you guys really have to study this, practice it. I don't expect you to know it right offhand. Let's have fun with it. Okay? I'm sorry, what's your name again?
Nikki.
Nikki, okay. Nikki, you want to go first?
Well, I mean, kind of give me an example of what I'm doing.
Okay, listen. The number one,
Okay.
okay? Now, you have A, B, and C. These are the options that you can use as far as the objection handlers. So, you be the seller and you read me the objection, and then I will be the agent. And just read me the first one, because there's two objections. It's where were you when my property was for sale, and then the second objection is what makes you so different. There's two of them, they're actually different.
Okay.
So read the first one to me, and then I'm going to read the option B.
Now, where were you when my property was for sale?
Nikki, that's a great question. When a property is listed, we actually have to sell it twice. May I explain?
Sure.
Well, an agent has to sell it to find buyers, and then also has to sell it to other agents who are working with buyers. Honestly, your last agent never reached out to sell it to us. I understand you want maximum exposure, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Great. And that's exactly why we need to meet. Does afternoons or evenings work better for you to talk more about how I can help?
Okay.
Now, I want you to study that just the way it is and learn it just like that. And then once you own it, you can change it a little bit. Like at the end, I would say, that's exactly why we need to meet. Are you available today at 3 o'clock, or will 4 be better? So you always want to close for the appointment as quickly as possible. Right out the gate. That is your goal, to close the appointment. It's not really to have a conversation. Once you get the appointment, then you can qualify them. And you should close at least 5 times. okay? And the good way to remember that, if you have 5 pennies on your desk and you put them together and you close, you push one to the side. You push another one to the side until you get do 5.
Close.
When you say close, what do you mean? Like in the conversation?
Yes, close for the appointment.
Close for- okay.
Because that is your ultimate goal, is to set an appointment, not really to have a conversation. Can I get an appointment? Can I meet with you?
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And then after you close for the appointment, then you can ask more important questions. You believe it or not, sometimes you can close right on the first time you try. And a lot of people get stumped because they're so used to having sellers give objections, they don't know what to say.
Right.
You know? Oh, sure, come on over. What time? You know? It happens, and sometimes, and when I role play, we do that sometimes. We give the appointment right away because you got to be prepared for that appointment. Give an example. I took a listing that's going to settlement. It was an expired listing going to settlement on the 28th. It was an older guy. I called. I closed him. He started laughing and said, yeah, today at 3 o'clock works. And I said, great. Before I come out, I just would like to ask you a couple of questions. Is that okay? Then I pre-qualified him. And I got the listing, and it's going to settlement on the 28th. Okay? So, if somebody says, what makes you so different? You can use option A. You can also use option C. I prefer to use option A because I want to close quickly as possible. So Nikki, say that to me.
Now, what makes you so different?
Nikki, that's a great question. And that's exactly why we need to meet. Does today at 3 o'clock work, or is 4 better for you? Because the thing is, you don't want to get into what makes you different.
Yeah.
Because you want to show them, you want to get in front of them to show them why you are different.
Yeah.
Now, if they ask me that question again, then I will handle the objection in a different way.
With more
Yes.
attention to it.
Yes.
Okay.
I would say something like, Nikki, I specialize in homes that didn't sell the first time around. And I would like to sit down with you for 20 minutes and show you exactly what I do differently from other agents. Does today at 3 o'clock work, or is 4 better for you?
Okay.
So you still close them right after that. All right. So who wants to go next for number 2? I'll be the seller, and someone could be the agent. Now remember, this is a class of interaction. We're here to practice. We're here to have fun. Because if you don't practice now, you're going to practice in front on your client, and you're not going to get the listing.
Okay.
Great. Okay. Andrew, right?
Derek.
Derek. Okay,
Close.
Derek. So I'm gonna be the seller.
Close.
I'll be the seller. Oh, and another thing which is very important, and you might want to write this down. Always use their name. People like to hear their name. Okay? And always repeat and approve massively. Does anyone know what repeat and approve is?
Repeat.
And
Repeat
approve.
what they say and approve what they've said, agree with them.
Correct. So for example, we're going to take it off the market. I think it says it right here. We're going to take it off the market. Off the market, of course. I might feel the same way. So you're agreeing with them. Repeat and approve, because they want to know that you heard what they said. And then once you own the script, you can say it differently. So what I hear you saying, you want to take it off the market and maybe relist it in the spring. Is that right? Yes, that is right. And then you can go into other questions. So, go ahead.
Now, why would you do something like that? Because yes, I really do.
I know it's a great question.
So what advantage do you get of taking off the market and putting it back on? Because the season or something? People are more apt to look at houses during that time, or?
You mean why the seller will say that?
Yeah.
Well, the seller will say that for many reasons. It's to deflect you. obviously they want to sell their house. They may be frustrated. They may want to list it with someone else. A lot of times they are frustrated. You don't know really what that reason is until you ask more questions. However, when you agree with them, their guard comes down
Okay,
because it's like, you heard me,
yeah,
okay?
okay,
And then you can say, you know what, Nikki, I understand you want to take the house off the market and relist it at a later date. Let me ask you a question. Why do you think your house didn't sell?
okay.
You control the conversation by asking questions. And then they will tell you, well, my last agent, they didn't bring any offers, they didn't bring nobody through. Now you're listening to them. And then based on the information that they gave you, then you close for an appointment again. Because a
Okay,
lot of times they're just, frustrated.
okay,
Okay? 50% of expires will relist in 48 hours. 50% will list in 48 hours. Oh, that's a good thing. Because if they don't list with you, they're going to list with someone else.
This was somebody else.
You know? So it's really important that you learn these scripts, you master them, these objections, and you practice. Okay? All right, Derek. Number 2. You know what? I'm just going to take it off the market.
Well, you know, Howard, I understand you don't take it off the market, and I would probably would too. It's kind of frustrating when your house goes on the market and it hasn't sold. Let me ask you a question. Why do you think it didn't sell?
Well, Derek, I think most people just want you to give their house away, and we have a price in mind that we want.
Price is very important. I understand that, and considering the fact you're probably getting bombarded with phone calls too. Where were all these agents when you were trying to get your house sold? Howard, let me ask you a question. If I could bring you a qualified buyer for a price that's there to sell or something you're looking for, are you willing to work with me?
Yeah, you have a buyer?
That's a great question. I don't have a buyer right now, particularly for your house, but what I have is I have a pipeline of people I've worked with over the years.
Okay.
And with Keller Williams too, I work with over 100 agents who, have buyers as well. And not only am I a real estate listing agent, I'm also a real estate marketer. I do things a little differently to market your house to target potential buyers. Would you be available about 3 o'clock to discuss that?
Sure.
Okay, great, I'll see you then.
Great. That was great.
I've never done it before, I just winged it, so.
No, what I'm
So
saying is
what
that
kind of buyers or
is
people?
it was great because you're going to get that, and you went on a little bit more.
I got a little nervous there. I was a little.
Listen, this is a class. We here to practice on each other, not in front of clients. When it's time to make money and feed our family. So this is where you have fun. Question, Nikki?
No, I was just amening you.
I like how he, cause he could've gotten stumped by that question when you were like, well, do you have a buyer now? That could've messed him up, but he went beyond and pulled it back in, cause you was like, well, if you don't have a buyer, what are you telling me that for? I like that.
Absolutely. Can you take this? This is Mr. Newkirk. We need that. Just tell him, what we need, that association information. Thank you. Okay. Number 3. Who wants to go?
Just bring me a buyer.
Yeah.
A buyer, of course. That's exactly why we need to meet. When is a good time? Today at 3 or tomorrow at 5?
Today at 3 is good.
Okay, great. Before I come out, just out of curiosity, once we sell this property, where are you going to?
Well, we're going to move to New York.
New York. Awesome. I love New York. And how soon do you plan to be there?
Well, we like to have been there 3 months ago. I have a job transfer, and I needed to be there then. So I'm thinking maybe I'm just going to rent it out.
Okay. Okay. So what I hear you say, you already have to be in New York. So our meeting is urgent. Okay, great. So if I show you a way how I can get your home sold and get you in New York in less than 2 weeks, you're ready to put the house on the market tonight, right?
Well, what are you going to do differently?
I'll show you tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
And you would want to close right after that, because even if they say, what do you do differently, you know what, Howard, that's exactly why we need to meet. And I can show you what it is that I do differently. Are you available today at 3 o'clock or 4 be better? Close for the appointment. Always close for the appointment. You can ask the questions later, okay?
But you already gave me the appointment at 3, so I'm like, let me just find out what's the tools I can use.
Absolutely, absolutely, because after you get the appointment, again, you want to pre-qualify. And that's a different class.
That's a different.
It's a different class.
Before they get there?
No, before you get there, before you go to the appointment.
Oh. So you, okay.
Yeah, because you want to know why they selling their house. Are they going to hire you when you go out? What price they're
Or
looking
just
for?
wasting your time.
Correct.
Okay.
Now, when I was new in the business, I would just run out. Run out. And then I give my presentation and I give it to them and they say, well, you know what, actually I can't sign it because my wife's not here. Oh, your wife's not here. Oh, can you come back at another time? Oh.
Now,
So-
how often is it that you go, I mean, I'm just a little confused in the sense of like, some people I've talked to, they'll say like, they have to come here first? Or is that not, cause when I heard that, I was a little, cause.
You mean come to the office?
Yeah,
It
but I mean,
depends on the
I
presentation.
understand, like, most times, like, if someone calls you, they're probably looking for the convenience of you to also go to them. So that's just where I'm confused as to where to
I
find
said
like,
typically buyers you wanna get here for.
Yeah.
okay,
Typically, buyer's appointments, and I would say 100% all buyer's appointments, you schedule them to come into the office. Sellers, you want to go see their house because you want to know the product, you want to see exactly what you're selling,
okay,
you know?
yes,
Okay.
got it.
All right, number 3, just bring me a buyer. Who wants to go? Come on, Sherry, you? I will be the seller. Did we say that one already?
Yeah, we did,
Okay.
yeah. You kinda said we're gonna rent it out.
Okay. All right, number 4. You know
I
what?
think
we-
you kinda
we-
went over that a little bit too.
No,
No,
she
'cause
didn't.
somebody said, oh, no, you
He
said.
I
it.
said something.
said it,
Well, we'll help you through it. So, you know, I just want to rent it out.
Rent it out?
Mhm.
I'm glad you're keeping your options open. But I do hear you say that you might want to rent it out. Is there a reason why? What days work best to bring you some inside market information on maximizing renting it out?
Well, today is good. Are you available today? And this one's a little tricky. Obviously, when they say you want to rent it out, you want to say, you know, repeat and approve. Okay, you want to rent it out, you know. And I'm glad you're keeping your options open. When it says ask more questions on that, so you did expand a little bit on it, but you want to go into the next question. So, what made you consider renting out your house? And then they're going to tell you, well, you know, we had it on the market for 8 months. You know, I got a low offer, or I owe too much money on it. You don't know what it is, but they're going to tell you, and then you can figure out if it's worth your time to go out. Okay. Number 5.
Hey, Howard, I'm sorry. If you went to talk to them and you couldn't close them, would you at least try to get a rental listing?
Yeah. And you know what? Sometimes, and that is a good question, because you have to figure out what's best for them financially. You're there to provide a service, and that may be the best option for them. You know, what if they owe too much on the house? However, they can get a good amount of rent that will pay off the mortgage, and they can put some money in their pocket. You know, so yeah, I would take the rental listing. Absolutely. All right, number 5. We're looking for an agent who has sold in our area. Anyone?
I understand making sure you have the right agent who really works, who really knows the area is very important to you, is that right?
Yes, it is.
Of course, that's exactly why we need to meet today at 3 p.m. or 4 p.m., which one works best for you?
Well, you know what? My wife doesn't get home until 7. Does that work for you?
Until 7? Let me check my schedule. You know what, I have an opening at 7:15, can I meet you then?
Yes, that'll work.
All right, see you at 7:15.
Great job. And that's what I would do too. Okay, well, let me check my schedule. And sometimes, just to have control, I will give them a different time. They say 7, I say 7:15. Just like that, just let them know I'm still in control. You know, because people do business with people who are authority figures, and you showing authority. Okay. We're looking for an agent who has sold this type of home in this price range.
Oh, of course. You're looking for an agent who sold this type of home in this price range? Of course, what I hear you're saying is you're looking for someone who lives in a home like yours or who regularly sells properties like yours to make sure you attract the right buyer who can appreciate the type of home you have. Is that right?
Yes.
Excellent. Do evenings or weekends work best?
Weekends work best.
Great.
Okay. Great job. Just really pay attention how you're saying the words.
Oh, okay.
You know, because it's very, remember you're over the phone, and tonality is very important. So you don't want to drag out certain words. Like,
Okay.
you know, you say the script and own it and then close. Okay? All right, we already have an agent. How many get this one? We already have an agent.
It actually happened to me this past Saturday. I did a for sale by owner,
Uh-huh.
and I was there, and he invited his agent at the same time I came there. It's a for sale by owner, but she went there and started taking pictures. And some lady from Boston, Alaska. I was like,
So who got it?
huh?
So who got it?
It's still a for sale by owner for now, right now.
So she probably was just taking pictures
Taking
saying
pictures to
that
help
she
them
had a
out.
buyer. You know? And,
He just bought a house through her,
oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
and they're letting somebody rent it for now, and he's trying to sell his house for sale by owner. So I guess he's gonna use the same agent for that too, but.
And there's ways around that. So, all right. Well, let's role play that one. We already have an agent. How about you, Derek? Since it happened to you, we already have an agent.
Let's see.
Number 7.
Oh, okay. All right, so you have an agent, I understand. I can appreciate the fact that you want to do business with someone you trust. Is that how you feel?
Yes.
Great. If I brought you inside marketing information that guaranteed you know the highest price possible and you still decide on the other agent, good for you. If there's a few more features and benefits you hadn't considered, at least you can make a decision that's best for you. Because I appreciate you don't owe me anything. You don't owe the other agent anything, and yet you owe yourself the very best. Does that sound unreasonable?
Yes. And I do want the most money for my property.
Great, so can I stop by today with 3 or 4 work better for you?
5:30.
Can you do 5:15?
Yeah, I can do 5:15.
Okay, I'll see you at 5:15.
I thought we were gonna go around for.
And not all the time you have to give a different time. It depends on the conversation that you have with them. If they're trying to, you can tell if they're trying to control the situation, the conversation more.
Yeah.
Then that's when you would do it. But if they just give it to you and they're willing to listen to you, then just close for that appointment. Obviously, if it works for you. Because if it doesn't, then you're going to have to check your schedule and say, you know what, I have an appointment at 5:30. Can we do 6:30? You know,
Yeah, okay.
that's something that you definitely should work on too. Because we all get that one.
That's a good one.
We're going to go with the same agent.
Same agent?
Mhm.
I understand. Just out of curiosity, what do you think they will do differently this time around to get this house sold?
You know what? I really don't know.
That's exactly why we need to meet. Does evenings or afternoons works better for you?
Afternoons.
Okay, let's meet tomorrow at 3.
Okay. Tomorrow at 3. We got another agent already.
Oh, no, you don't know.
So you have
that one?
you have 2 options. So you have option A and option B.
That's great.
You can take a quick look over
What's great
the
about
options to see exactly which one you want.
Have you signed the contract already? Or were they still coming over?
No, they're still coming over. We haven't signed the contract yet.
Excellent. Has there ever been a time when you bought something and then you had to turn it back in?
Yes.
This time is just like that time. You expected something, you didn't get it. Now you need a new agent and you definitely don't expect the same results, right?
Absolutely not.
That's exactly why we need to meet. Does afternoon or evenings work better for me to stop by?
Well, I can do tomorrow at 9 o'clock.
Okay, great. In the morning or at evening?
Tomorrow.
Just say, great, I'll be here at 5.
Tomorrow at 9 a.m.
And what time will you plan to meet with the other agents?
I'm going to meet with them today at 6, and then I can meet with you tomorrow at 9.
Okay, so you promise me you won't finalize your decision tonight when we meet with the other agent?
Yes, I promise you.
Okay, I'll see you tomorrow at 9 p.m.
Well, since you're,
9 a.m.
Good job, Marge.
since you're meeting with that other agent tonight, why don't I just come a little bit before them? This way we can get it, they can get done before that.
You can do that as well.
Yeah.
Some people like to go first, some people like to go last. Jeff Quinton, he likes to go last. Because there's really no hurdles to get over because you met with everyone, so now you convince them to sign with you. Now it can work against you because if you're that good, you can get them to sign with you in the beginning, and then you can call the other agent and say, listen, I convinced them to hire me, and I just wanted to give you a courtesy call that we have the listing, and if you have a buyer, I'll be more than happy to share my commission with you.
Everybody loves that phone call.
You know, that actually happened to an agent in here that I gave that call to. And it was so funny because he was like, oh, you hit me with the script. But I had to let him know, you know. I mean, I had that much respect for him and his time, you know. And I would love to share my commission with him. Actually, Nikki, your grandma bought the buyer immediately. $10,000 over asking price. It was a for sale by owner. So it just depends on, you know, what you want to do. We don't want to pay a commission, so we're going for sale by owner.
For sale by owner, I can appreciate that. What's really more important to you, selling on your own or selling for the highest price possible?
Well, yeah, I want to sell it for the highest price possible.
Exactly. I'll share with you how to do that, and then you can decide if you want me to help. Does afternoons or evenings work better to stop by?
Afternoons are good.
Be there at 3.
That's actually a good one right there.
This is real.
Because what is really important to them? Them selling it on their own or for them getting the most money? Them getting the most money, really, they don't want to sell it on their own. It's just, trust me, they don't want to sell it on their own. Okay? I just took a for sale by owner listing, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and he came into the office and he showed me a whole list of people that contacted him. He didn't have time to show it to him. You know, he tried to do it on his own. See you later. Thanks for coming. But that's really a great objection handler there.
Hey, Howard, we might cover this throughout this sheet, but when you have a for sale by owner who wants the most money, and they throw in that objection that they don't want to pay a commission, you know, how would you overcome that?
Well, obviously, I mean, I noticed if you're for sale by owner, my buyers are not free. I'm not going to show you a house. However, I would hit them with the script. You know, what's important to you? You selling it on your own or walking away from the closing table with the most money possible. Well, I want to walk away with the most money possible because obviously commission means something to them. Okay, great. Let me show you exactly how I can do that. Are you available today at 3 o'clock or will 4 be better? And then once you get on the appointment, then you can show them the benefits of hiring you. You can actually go and do some research on, you know, how many for sale by owners actually sell on their own. They don't. It's like 8% to actually sell on their
I
own.
think it's 7.
And out of the 7 or 8%, half of them already knew the buyer. So that leaves you with 3 or 4% of them actually selling it.
Yeah.
And they sell it for like at least 12% less.
23% less.
23%?
than hiring an agent. So you, right there, your commission's already built in. So if they sell 23% less, and you can tell them that, say, listen, you can pay me as, this on the presentation, you can pay me a 6% commission and still net 17% more.
What if a for sale by owner has a house listed for a higher price than you think it's worth?
They always do.
Yeah. When you try to convince them to take the listing, they're gonna say, well, now you want me to lower my price and you want me to pay a commission, how am I making more money doing it that way?
Because when you know the stats of them selling it on their own, if they sell 23% less, your commission built into that is showing that they're gonna net more money and you're gonna sell it faster than they are anyway. You know, they're not gonna sell their property. And if they just unrealistic with the price, then you just don't take the listing. Because you go there with market evidence, something that you have that they don't. That makes you the expert, you know? And you put that information in front of them. And once you show them, usually they're like, wow, I didn't know that. You know? And if they are really motivated to sell their house, then they will agree. There's not one for sale by owner that is not motivated to sell their house. They can tell you anything. They did not just go to Home Depot, get a sign, go all through this work to put it on forsalebuyowner.com to say, I don't really want to sell my house. That's bull. They want to sell their house. You just got to convince them of hiring you and why they should hire you. We have a party that might be interested, and we want to wait on hiring an agent.
An interested party, that would be great. Obviously, I would never want to get in between you and your ability to sell on your own and save money. What's the backup plan?
Well, I mean, if we don't sell it, then obviously I'm gonna have to hire an agent.
Okay, that's exactly why we need to meet. Does tonight or tomorrow work better to pop in and give you brand new comparable properties to make sure you get the highest price possible? Because at the end of the day, it's only about the highest price possible. Isn't that right?
Absolutely.
Great. So I will see you today at 3, or is 4 better?
4 o'clock is good.
Okay. Will all decision makers be there?
Well, my wife doesn't get home until 4:30.
4:30. Okay, so how about I come at 4:45?
Okay,
Okay, I will see you both then.
very good. You did much better on that, and then you always want to ask that question because that happened to me. You know, I gave this great presentation, at least I thought I did. I wasted my time, and my wife was not there to sign. Are you kidding me? Now I'll always ask that question.
Okay.
You about to say
I just
something,
didn't know.
Tony?
Oh, thank you.
I'm getting a lot of activity as a for sale by owner.
That's awesome. Awesome. That's awesome. Most of the time for sale by owners mostly get agents calling. Have you had that at all?
Oh yes, I mean I get about 5 calls a day.
Of course you have. I mean, of course you do. If there was an opportunity to still sell with an agent and net more than you could on your own, would it be unreasonable to share that information with you?
Well, how you going to do that?
Well, I'm going to come by today at 3.
Okay, and are you going to show me?
I'm going to show you.
Can you show me now?
Well, I can't show you over the phone. I have to be there. So how's today at 3 for you?
Okay, today is 3. It's good.
Okay.
And you know what? You may get that. You know, why can't you tell me now?
Tell me over the phone,
You know,
right.
you know that's a great question because my presentation is visual, and that's exactly why we need to meet. Does today at 3 o'clock work, or will 4 be better? Because once you get there, you know their body language. I mean, you there, you can close them. And then, and with for sale by owners, it's always good to know the market stats, so you can write down a piece of paper and show them, you know, how much they're going to get by working with you and how much they're gonna get selling it on their own. So you can't really do that over the phone. They won't understand it.
You should ask them a couple of questions too, like what are you asking for the property?
Yeah, you do that before you go out.
Yeah, that's one, and there's another part that I was gonna ask. Sometimes they also ask you, well, what do you think it'll sell for?
You know what, that's a great question. You know what, Tony, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna gather some market evidence, and I'm going to meet with you today at 4, and I'm gonna share with you what's the highest price possible that you can get for your property.
You can't just tell me now.
Well, I haven't seen your house, so does today at 3 work, or would 4 be better?
3 is close.
I'm glad you brought that up. Never, ever get into a disagreement about price with an expired or for sale by owner. Never. You lose. You lose. Once you get into the door, now you're armed with the information. Now you can educate them, because that's your job, to educate them. Don't do it over the phone, because for one, they're gonna think that you don't think that they can sell the house, and you're insulting them. Yeah.
So what would you say, like, if they're, say you have like information on the house, obviously I'm sure you will before you call them,
Mhm.
but, so say they have it listed at a price that's clearly unreasonable,
Mhm.
and they say that to you, how do you like approach that situation over the phone, like, cause obviously once you get there it'll be better at handling it,
Mhm.
like you said, but like what would